Hi there, you're welcome to my channel once again. I'm Emmanuel Doywood, and today we'll be discussing on Visual Studio. We're going to look at how to start with a project on Visual Studio. So now the first thing you need to do is to ensure that you have installed Visual Studio on your system. Now if you don't have Visual Studio, then go online, Google Visual Studio, and then download Visual Studio Community Edition. What I'm using here, the environment you are seeing, is the Community Edition. The moment you download the Community Edition, you will be able to have it installed on your system, and then you can go ahead with what I have. I'm using Visual Studio 2019. All right. So the first thing that you do after installing is to go to Windows and start your looking for Visual Studio. Now Visual Studio, just type Visual Studio 2019 and it comes up. Visual comes up here, you click on it and it opens up and gives you your Visual Studio environment. Then you click on create new project. You have several options here. One of them is connect to code space, clone a repository, and that one is you get code from an online repository like GitHub or Azure DevOps. Now repository that people have already have information on, you can get codes from there. You can open a project or a solution, a local project that is already online. I have several project solutions that are here, so I can open any of them. Then you can open a local folder to navigate and edit code within any folder. Then you create a new one. Then you can also continue without code. So what I would advise you as a new beginner is to click on create new project. And once you click on create new project, now there are some things that if it's a new system, you would see Visual Basic. Okay, let me see. It will give you, we are working with Visual Basic right now, right? So in the new project, it brings us to create a new project, recent project templates. Now I have a Windows Forms app and I'm using Visual Basic. There are several options that may be available here, many of them. So if I were to clear all, you will see several projects that are here. See, there are several of them. You have C#, Linux, console application. You have a class library and all that. There are several opportunities which are available, all languages and all platforms. All right, you can choose any of the language you want here. We have C#, C++, F#, Java, Python. Now I'm working with Visual Basic. Okay, so I select Visual Basic, and then the platform I want to work in, you have all platforms: Android, which is for mobile phones, Azure, iOS. I'm working with Windows environment. And then what do I want to do? You have cloud. Maybe I want to be an application for cloud. Console application, that's for to work with command prompt environment. I am going to work, you have machine learning, mobile, but I'm working with a Windows Form environment. So I don't need this. You have a web environment also, which can come up to help you to work on any project that you want. But I'm working on a desktop environment. So once you have that, we have a Windows Form. Okay, Windows Form class, library, control, web, Windows Form application, and all that. So I just have this. So that is this Windows Form with Visual Basic. So you click on that. Once you click on it, double click on it, it will now move you to create a form. So I will title my project, I'll just call it first project. call it first project, so that my first project, and I'm going to store it in source repos environment. You can click on this and choose any other environment which you need to store, but for now I'm storing it in repos. I have several projects there already, so we do that. Then the option, place the solution and project in the same directory, or you can place it in a different directory. Okay, if you click on this, you can, it says let the solution be, write the name of the directory you want it to be, but I want it to be in the same directory, so I click on this, and whenever I select, it gives a solution is a container for one or more projects in Visual Studio. Sometimes someone may want solution to contain several projects. It's okay, could have that. So you click on next. Alright, now next ask us for the framework we need to use. There are more than one framework. I have a 3.1 and I have 5.0. So current is 5.0 and I'm using 5.0. So select 5.0. Alright, so it says the project with the specified name already exists in the specified document. Do you want to overwrite the existing solution with this new solution? I don't really want that, so I'm going to, because I don't want certain confusions, so I'll say no. Then go back again and change the name to my project. Let me just call it my project, my first project, my first project. Okay, great. All right, so form has come up, our project is up, and then we have a form, blank form environment here. Now this is an environment which we can edit whatever needs to be done. In this environment, this axis is called the editor environment, so you can edit whatever you want to edit in this axis. This is the form called form 2. This is the solution explorer. You can see it here. The solution explorer shows us all our codes and applications. If you click on them, they will give us different information. If I click on this form designer, shows us the code that form makes this form. You can see behind there it has global Microsoft.visualbasic.compiler services. That's because that's a system, a function. Okay, global. Now it has called that compiler, which will now handle this class. So it calls partial class called form1. It inherits its from system.windows.form.form. So all its components and all its properties, it would inherit it from form1 is going to inherit it from this system library. All right, this from the system library. All right, so we have several other things. We have dispose. Dispose is to help us in case you want the form to be closed. It will close it completely and dispose of every article about it. We'll discuss this more in details. All right, but for now what we are looking at is the environment. Now the solution, that we also have the properties. All right, the property environment helps us to change things that we want to change on this form or on any component. If there is a component that we place on this form, properties are all the possible things that we need to change to make that form to perform the task we need it to perform for us. That's where properties comes in. There are a lot of other tools that are available. You can come to tools and see some other tools. Okay, you can see Android tools, Android device manager, Android SDK manager, iOS tools if you want to work with that. You can also connect to a server. Then we can also view some other areas of the form we need. We have the explorer, the git changes is there, and all other functions. But for now, let us deal with the basics. The basics is that we just want a form, and what we are going to do in this form, we're going to create something that is similar to a login form. All right, so what do we do with a login form? All we need to do is to add labels, text boxes, and buttons, and then we have something like that. Now we have here what we call a toolbox. In the toolbox we have all the tools we will require to build our application. You have the pointer, which is like an arrow that will run application. You have the buttons, you have the check boxes, you have the combo box, we have the labels, we have the list box, we have the datetime picker here. We have several components. All right, so let's look at the ones we really need. You have a server explorer here, which will help us to connect if need be. Server explorer helps us to connect to any other database we need right now. So we are not connecting because we are not building an database driven application. For now, we are just showcasing this environment works. All right, so first of all, what we need is to bring out a label. The label is down here. All you need to do is double click on it, and you have a label will display here, or you drag and drop. So if I double click the label, come out here, you see the label here, and then you bring the label here. Now we have that label. All right, if I need to change the name or the text, I'll have to come here and then change the label, and I'm going to write here I'm going to change it and give it a name, hello everyone, hello world. Let's have hello world. Okay, all right. Now we want the hello world to be bigger because it's rather small. We can make it bigger than this. Okay, so all we need to do to make it bigger is still within these are properties. We move up and we look at the size of our fonts. Okay, and then these are font color. We want the font color to be black. Is okay for now. We can change it later to be whatever color that we want. All right, so we now want a font size. All right, so everything has to do with font, color. Let's look at it. We want the font size to change, so we take our font size and we make it to be 20. Enter. You can see it has become is bigger right now. And we can also, since we want a bigger value, let's make 30. All right, we have font size of 30 showing there. We want it to be bold, so we come in and we choose bold true, and then we have it there. All right, now the properties bar helps us to do a lot of things. Okay, all right, so now label 1 is called, that is the name of the label. So we can change the name currently to whatever name we want. Currently the name is label 1, so we're programming, we call it label 1. We might try to change the name to the hello to hello. I can try to LB or label hello. All right, so that I can know that is what I'm using for. So I call it label hello, and that's the name. Okay, then if I need a button, all I have to do is come here and look for a button, and the button is B. I drag it here, I drop it here, and that's my button. Then I can now say the button name, can call it button BTN, button control, because I want it to be a control button for me to control certain things. I can call it button control. Then I want the text also to change, so I'm going to look for the text option. All right, and under the text option we are going to change it from button 1 to change color. All right, we wanted to change color, so we widen it because we wanted to change color of this label, all right, to a different color. Okay, so that is it. Now our form is still called form 2, so we need to change it also. We want our form name to also change, so we change it from form 2 to hello. Call the form hello, and then that the text is hello, but the name still remains. For now, if you check here, the name still remains form 1. All right, now after all this, while you're working, remember to always save whatever you're doing. So for you to save, you come here. If you click here, you save only this form. If you click here, you save everything that's ever been done. So if we have several forms, we just click on it, but right now we are okay because it's just form. Now we can change the name and save it as something else if we need be. You can right click on it and then you have save also the form also there. You can come into file and then you have your save form VB as option. We can, so that we can change the name that we want to save. If we don't want it to be called form, want it to be called hello, you can come here, and when you click on it once, it tells you to change. You can change the name to hello. All right, or if you don't want that to be a name, then all we have to do is just come to form, right click on it, and you see rename here, F2, and that allows us to change the name. All right, so that's what we are looking for. All right, so we have that. Now once this is done, if you double click on it, it's going to bring out the code behind this. Okay, I'm going to bring out the code behind this table. All right, the code behind this form or this button. Now I had told you earlier an example of a form code is here. When you double click form designer, you have this. Now you have what we call a class here, and it what we call a subroutine. Now a class, all right, so we have a class that has been discussed earlier. Now a class is a group of objects that will perform similar roles. Like you have a class called form. All right, we also have a class that can be a class that is called you can have a class, and maybe it could just be just for web form, you understand. So now this is a Windows form, so that's a class. A sub is a subroutine which is going to perform something. Once you say protected override sub, this sub you can have a coding into it. You have a private sub also, me.label hello. Now these are the code behind this, all this that I've been doing. You can see as I'm doing as I was bringing up the forms, it was creating the codes behind it, because this is actually what will be compiled and presented. It's not what I'm just drawing that is going to run. This is what is going to run, the code behind at the back. So me.lbl hello .new system.forms.label. all right, so it forms one of the possible properties of a form is a label and a button. All right, so it says label hello.autosite is true. Everything that I have here I had changed also changes within the code. Okay, all right, so now we are going to add some more things. I'm going to change color, and I want, when I click this button, the color should change to the color of the text should change. Remember, I can do that over here. I have, let's look at it, font 4 color. Let's change the font 4 color. The font 4 color is currently black. So if I want to change it, all I have to click on is the 4 color and change it to red. Okay, there are several options. You have the system color, which is the system I'm using. You have the web colors, and you have custom colors. Now choose from the custom colors and click on red, and then you see it has turned red. Okay, that is the color.